A while since I've been live on this channel. The last time I went live on this channel was for Philip Bell the Third's recruitment, his commitment. It was months ago. Yeah, yeah. Buckeye Nation. We here. We back. It's popping. Crazy dog coming at you on the Buckin' Crazy YouTube channel. Not sure if people are gonna pop in. These things usually don't get too many viewers because, but you know what? We're growing. Growing. We're doing our thing, right? So you see the headline down below. Stream. Not sure how long it'll take. Could take 10 minutes, could take an hour. Depends on how much I want to talk. But we're going to be talking about the class of 2025. And then the transfer portal. What is the transfer portal? I forgot the T. How did I forget the T? What the heck is wrong with me? I was so in a hurry to get this baby popping, I forgot to add the T to portal. Poor Al. I bet you y'all were like, yo, what's the poor Al? Yeah, we got it fixed. So, obviously, the class of 2025 is signed, sealed, delivered. Every single well, 25 of the 26 original members of the class or so are, no, actually, 24, because they added 2 via flip. So really, well, 3. Really flipped 3 guys or 2. Hang on, let me check. I gotta do my math. All right, trying to think. So they flipped B. Or move. Yeah, yeah. Then they flipped Turbo. That's 2. Okay, then they flipped Jordan Woods. So that's 3. Yeah, 3 guys. The best part is, we only had 1 kid flip away, and it's Naeem Offord, right? We've known about him flipping for months. That's crazy, isn't it? We knew about him flipping for months. Although we thought it was going to be Auburn, but out of the blue, it became Oregon. It pisses me off. Oregon really has 3 kids that Ohio State really, really wanted. Dorian Brew, Trey McNutt, and now Naeem Offord. It's crazy that Oregon literally walks into the Big Ten and takes it over. Like, damn, that's really, we're gonna let that happen? Ohio State's really gonna let that happen? Right? We let these dudes from the Pacific Northwest walk into our conference that we've pretty much dominated for a while, and they're just gonna take it over. But that's what NIL brings. Money. It's kind of like a baseball, right? The deeper pockets always come out on top. Now, Ohio State, it's fairly shallow. We got deep pockets. It's just we're not as aggressive. Yeah. Yeah, we're not as aggressive, it seems like. We seem to have a problem, closing the deal on some dudes. I mean, you look at our recruiting staff, okay? You look at our coaching staff, I meant. Let's see. You have Ryan Day, who's, love-hate relationship with the fan base, Some guys love him. Some guys want him fired tomorrow or today. Some guys wanted him fired yesterday. But it ain't going to happen. Some people want him fired. Some people want him gone so bad. They were like taking this rumor that Urban Meyer was trying to come back, and they were running with it. Urban had to come out and say, I'm fine where I am. Big new kickoffs got me feeling good. I got a podcast. I'm enjoying my time off the sideline. Not to mention, I mean, he's kind of much older now, right? You look at the rest of the coaching staff and how they've done on the trail. Ryan Hartline, one of the best receiving coaches out there, always gets his guys, seemingly. For the most part, he does. If he wants you, he'll get you, right? I mean, Ohio State pretty much has wide receiver U, no matter what the haters say. We are a receiver U. I mean, look at all the receivers we've sent to the league, right? You got other universities calling themselves wide receiver U. It's like, what have you guys done, huh? In the main channel, I'm always bringing up Colorado, right? Fans on social media calling themselves wide receiver U. It's like, do you know the criteria to be named wide receiver U? Do you know what it takes to be called that? You got to have receivers going to the draft and balling out, right? For like the last couple years. Look at what we've had in the draft the last couple years. Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Marv, JSN. Those are the big four. And Mecca, he's probably going to be a day one, day two pick. And then when they go into the league, probably what, next year, Carnell and Brandon. And then, of course, Jeremiah. Like, we are legit wide receiver U. Having one receiver in the last how many years doesn't make you wide receiver U. I'll be right back, guys. I love getting a UPS delivery during stream. Gotta love it. Do it live though. Now, see, if this would have been a video, I would have had to cut that off and do whatever and then restart. But this is a live stream. Dang it. We keep going. Cubs have hired Craig Counsell. Oh, who cares? Give a crap about that stuff. Stuff when I see this garbage on here. All right. What was I? Yeah, talking about wide receiver U. Because apparently having one receiver go to the pro in the last how many years makes you wide receiver U, according to some fan bases. Like, no, no, that's not how it works. Okay? What's up, Robert? Anyways, let's talk about the Buckeyes class of 2025, okay? Like I said, they managed to flip 3 kids and they only lost 1 to a flip. And it was a kid, Naeem Offord, that we knew was gone for months. What's even more funny about that whole situation? His family and him, he was on Twitter saying, I ain't flipping. So now we know that was a lie. Lying. He capping, bruh. I'm not flipping. Yeah, you are. We saw right through it. Buckeye fans on social media saw right through it. They're like, yeah, you are. You're flipping. You're dipping, bro. Going to Oregon. In fact, there's a rumor that apparently he left. He's going to Oregon because I guess Phil Knight's going to help him get a shoe. Like, is this dude really trying to get his own shoe? Or maybe, I think it's more or less designing a shoe. I don't think he's going to get his own signature shoe. It's like, you're a college kid. You haven't even stepped foot on campus yet. You're talking about a shoe? I mean, that's a bold it's a bold thing to promise a kid, a teenager. Like, hey, come to Oregon and we'll help you develop your own shoe. We're gonna give you your signature shoe. Is he really like that? Only like a few dudes have gotten their own signature shoe. Dion, of course, Coach Prime, and I think Darrell Revis, something like that. But football players don't usually get their own signature shoe like that. It's not like basketball. Not a basketball. Every big name player has their own signature shoe. It's like a thing with that. This is football. I don't know how that'll work, but you see the two guys on your screen. Davian St. Clair, class of 2025 quarterback, and of course, Devin Sanchez, cornerback for the Buckeyes. And I'm looking at the class right now. They finished out with a 297.60 point rating on 247, which came up in fifth, firmly in fifth. And I don't think there's any more guys that they're looking to add. So they finish out the class with 26 commits. And the best thing is, every single person signed. We're not waiting for anybody. Everybody from Tavian to Devin, Carter Lowe, Fahim Delane, Riley Pettijohn, everybody signed. There was a little bit of talk about Zion Grady potentially flipping to Auburn, but we held him off there. And then TJ Alford, there was some talk about him going to Miami, but that didn't happen. And that was really it in terms of flip talk. Besides Naeem. Pretty impressive, right? Even after the loss, again, to the team up north, nobody wavered. I've seen times like where you lose to a rival and the class almost falls apart. These guys are, I think, even hungrier than ever now. They're like, yeah, we want to change things around because this is getting ridiculous. Losing to those losers up north 4 straight years. People are pretty much calling for Ryan Day to be fired or saying he needs to go. I don't know how many more years we can deal with this crap. It might just be the fact that the culture is just not what it used to be. The culture used to be whenever we saw that dumbass winged helmet on the other sideline, it was, all right, time to put BTA. Belt to A's, right? Every year. Days, it's like, what's this? Now we're the whipping boy. Oh, what's happened? Something's got to change. The fact that nobody left besides Naeem is pretty impressive. Yeah. It also just goes to show you how good our coaches are at recruiting. At least for the most part. Most of our coaches are really good at recruiting. I'll just say that. I mean, obviously, Ryan Day is a good recruiter, I guess. I mean, he better be a good recruiter. Damn. But in terms of the position coaches, obviously James Laurinaitis, linebacker coach. I mean, the dude literally in his first full year went out and got two top tier linebackers, Riley Pettijohn and TJ Alford. Not bad for your first real, I guess, cycle. Because before this past year, he was just, I think, on the staff, but he wasn't a coach. He was like an assistant. He wasn't allowed on the trail until like after, I think, the season. Because they had gotten rid of their special teams coach. So that allowed him to get on the trail. And then I think another underrated move they made was they got rid of Benedict Alford. That's what we call him now. Not going to mention his first name because he's a loser. And we brought in Coach Lachlan from Oregon. And what did he do? He went out and he got Anthony Rogers out of, well, I guess we flipped him from Alabama. Technically, he was a flip. but like he decommitted and then committed here. So it was awesome. That made me happy. So what else are we gonna talk about here? Oh yeah. Of course, Brian Hartline does his work every year. This year it wasn't as strong as in years past. The best receiver he got was Quincy Porter, 4-star out of New Jersey. State champion, by the way. Yeah, we got a couple state champions, I'm pretty sure, as well. Might have more. Not sure exactly like the situations for a lot of these teams, but I do know that New Jersey, I think, has 2 of them. Yeah, Desi and Deshaun, I think, won a state title. And then Quincy. Damn, we dominate New Jersey then. Sheesh. I mean, I like what they've done in this class. It's so funny because you look at our team, like look at the recruiting, and you see like the schools that they've established a pipeline with. Obviously, Glenville. That's been a pipeline for Ohio State for many, many years. The freaking coach is the father of Ted Ginn. Like, it's crazy. So it makes you feel old when you realize that Ted Ginn Sr. was coaching there when his son was playing there. And now you look at Ted Ginn Jr. and it's like, damn, the dude's been out of the league for how long now? And Ted Ginn Sr. is still going? It's crazy. Absolutely insane. But as far as like pipeline schools recently, obviously St. Joe's Prep out of PA all of a sudden has become a pipeline school. I mean, we had Marv, we had Kyle McCord, we got Maxwell Roy, and Isaiah West, and then we got a kid out of the portal last year from that school. So that school has become a pipeline. All right, there's our I guess Northeast pipeline next to like I guess well I was gonna say that maybe a New Jersey school, but no, it's definitely St. Joe's Prep. That's got to be like the Northeast pipeline school. Because you know those kids that go to that school, they see Marv, they know that he went to that school, and they're like, "Ooh, we can follow in Marv's footsteps." Awesome. I think Marv actually has a brother that's going there too. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, but I think we're probably gonna have a few state champions on the roster. That'll be fun. All right, now looking at the roster right now, and obviously transfer portal season's almost here. And for the Buckeyes, they've already lost 3 players to the portal. Talking about that real quick. The first one to dip was Gabe Powers. I mean, that hurt a little bit, you know, because you look at our linebacking room right now, as it stands heading into the playoff game in a few weeks. It's going to be Sonny, Cody, right? It's going to be Sonny, Cody, CJ Hicks, who's really come on strong as of late, Arvell Reese. Then you're going to have a couple freshmen in Peyton Pierce and Garrett Stover. So, I mean, it's a strong room. I mean, it's not like they're lacking depth. And then you look at what they got coming in this upcoming class. Of course, you have TJ, you have Riley, and then Eli Lee from Archbishop Hoban, who's decent. He's 3-star, but he's still good. Even 3-stars these days are really, really good. The rating systems are all messed up, seemingly. Now, is there anybody else that maybe hasn't gotten their black stripe removed yet that could jump in with, see, like the lower tier of the class? I mean, you look at the transfer portal from last year. Yeah, Keenan Nelson was who I was thinking of, who also went to St. Joe's Prep. And almost everybody and from the portal played a significant role on this team this year. Keenan Nelson, we haven't seen though. Judkins, Beast, Downs. Do I need to even say anything about Caleb Downs? Thorpe Award finalist. Julian, he'll probably be in the running for the starting quarterback job next year for sure. Seth, he was a beast before he got hurt. Will Howard, solid. He had his moments, but he was a solid quarterback. He was miles better than Honda McCord. And then Will Kesmerick was a solid tight end. Very solid tight end. Now, who could we see pop up, for the playoff games? Maybe. Although, again, red shirts also matter as well. Um, I think most of the guys, yeah. The only linebacker that we probably will see a lot is Peyton Pierce from last year's recruiting class. He was the only linebacker they got too. That's actually crazy. He was the only linebacker they got last year. About the 2023 class. Let me just take a look real quick. Gander through. What about Reese? And Andrew Glover was here, but then he dipped again to go back to Northwestern. They would have played a bit too. Yeah. Even you look at the transfers from 2023, going into 2023 season. Glover didn't play. He's gone now. He's back at Northwestern. Lorenzo, he's actually played a lot. Josh Simmons was literally our starting left tackle before he got hurt. Jahad Carter dipped. Furlman, I think he's still here. I'm not sure. Davison, K.A. Davison, I grab his son because grab. Can't stop grabbing. I mean, if you could just stop grabbing opposing receivers when he's covering them. Cutler dipped, and then Tristan Jebbia, I think, graduated. He was like a senior. We never really even saw him regardless, so yeah, that's the 2023 class. So you look at this team and what what does the outlook look like for the Buckeyes going into the playoffs? Well, Gabe Powers wasn't the only one who left, believe it or not. As a few days ago, Jaden Ballard entered the portal. And this really made me sad because going into his freshman year, people were so hyped about Jaden Ballard. They were so hyped up over Jaden because it's like, man, this dude is an absolute stud. He's got speed and he's a good receiver. I bet you could count on one hand his stats. In fact, let me pull up the stats and let's see how he's done. Bet you he probably has less than 300 yards in his career. Really seen him. No, now that I think about it, he did spend a lot of time as punt returner. Just didn't really work out. Sucks because he's always been behind some of the best receivers in the nation, so he was never really able to make an impact, which is extremely unfortunate because he actually is pretty good, but could never take advantage of any opportunities he would get. It sucks. But I hope he finds a spot elsewhere, and I hope he goes off. Yep. I wish no ill will on these guys that leave. They're leaving for a reason. The only way I would really get on somebody for leaving is if they're straight up afraid of competition, like Tate Martell a few years ago. We brought in Justin Fields. Tate Martell was here, and then he's like, "Oh no, competition! I'm a dip." I think he even came out and said he's not afraid of competition, and then he dipped right afterwards. Oh, way to contradict yourself, buddy. Damn. No. So, by the way, it's actually insane to see Cal McCord led the nation in receiving yards and receiving passing yards. It's actually insane. Even more than Cam Ward and Shadur. Just choking. Oh, damn. Ah, man. Wow. All right. Let's see here. Oh. All right. Let's go to the Buckeyes here on their stat page and let's see who the leaders in the stats were. I already know for a fact Jaden Ballard probably wasn't even close to the top of the list in receiving yards. So obviously, the leader in receiving yards was Jeremiah Smith, 934 yards on 57 receptions and 10 touchdowns. There was a streak where he had a touchdown in every single game. Emeka, for fully healthy season, and then they got the Oregon Duck on the Pat McAfee show. Stupid. 60 receptions, 743 yards, 9 touchdowns. And Jaden Ballard. Oh, here we go. 2 receptions, 18 yards, 0 touchdowns this year. Joanne Twee. Yeah. By the way, I also entered the portal too. So that's 2 receivers and a linebacker that have so far entered the portal for the Buckeyes. And they're not going to be the only ones. So, dude, I was actually right. Oh my God. I said less than 200 yards receiving, right? Around there. Well, yeah. The most he's gotten was 2022, 8 receptions, 155 yards, and a touchdown. Let's see. 2021, 1 catch for 4 yards. And then this year, 2 for 18. He did not get a single reception in 2023. Yeah. And I bet you most of that 155 was in one game for 2022. It was against Toledo. He had 4 receptions, 113 yards, and a touchdown. It's crazy. Wow. That was probably because JSN got hurt. Yeah, and he played more. So, you look at receiving core heading into the playoff games, right? You're going to have Jeremiah, Carnell, and Mecca, obviously. And with no Jaden or Kojo, it's going to be Bryson, Ennis, Mylan, and maybe some David Adolph. Okay. We'll see what the O-line looks like. But right now, I think it's solid. But, we'll see if anyone leaves via the portal. I'm sure there will be at least a few that leave. I'm sure. But looking at the portal for the Buckeyes, yeah, I'm going to get into this before I get into the rest of the roster. I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but, I kind of want to talk about stuff before I forget about it. I'm going to talk about the portal wish list for the Buckeyes heading into Monday when the portal officially opens. It's pretty simple when you think about it. Offensive and defensive line. I mean, obviously, you look at the O-line right now, the tackles is the biggest weakness because Donovan's going pro. He's already confirmed it. He's declared. And Josh Fryer has to go pro or whatever because he's a senior. He's gone no matter what. I'm pretty sure. I don't think there's a chance he could come back for another year. I don't even really want him to come back. I want him to go pro and maybe, make it as a backup tackle somewhere. So you just want him to leave? Pretty much, because he was all right, but he wasn't great. You look at the backups, you look at the depth, and it's not great. That's why if you go on Buckeye Twitter, you will see Buckeye fans openly clamoring for O-line. Whenever we see an O-lineman hit the portal, whenever we see Hayes Fawcett post an edit or a thing talking about O-lineman hitting the portal, you will see the comments just flooded with Buckeye fans saying, we need him. It doesn't even matter. We need O-linemen. Right now, your backups, Deontay Armstrong, who hasn't played, Luke Montgomery, Josh Padilla, Toby Wilson, Gabe Van Sickle, George Fitzpatrick, and Ian Moore. Then you got, I'm trying to think, Harlow, Jake Cook, and I think there's like one more coming in from this upcoming class too. Let me look real quick. Yeah, you have Carter Lowe, who's a tackle. And then you got Jake Cook and Javon McFadden. One tackle and two guards coming in. So yeah, even with Lowe, you need another tackle. I'd say combined between the trenches, 6 players, 3 O linemen, and maybe 3 or even 4 D linemen, including edge rushers. Because you look at our D line room right now, the entire front 4, the starting 4, they're going pro. Jack, Tyleek, and JT, they're gone. They're all going pro, most likely. The only one that has to leave is Ty Hamilton because he's a redshirt senior. The other 3 are redshirt juniors, so technically they don't have to leave, but I would. You know, you don't want to mess with your status in the draft. You don't want to pull a Sean Wade, right? You're looking like a top pick day 1, but you choose to come back. Yeah, don't pull that off. Don't do that. Take advantage of your situation and go pro. Get that big bag. You want to end up like, Sean Wade. You could even say Denzel Burke, too. But yeah, they're definitely probably gone, without a doubt. Especially the ties. I think they're definitely gone. Caden Curry, he's a junior. He'll be back, I think. Although he has looked good on special teams, but I need to see him actually get legit defensive reps next year. Caden McDonald, absolute dog. Hero Canoe, haven't heard much from him, unfortunately. Kenyatta Jackson really came on strong this year, especially when they actually rotated like they were really supposed to. Mitchell Melton will be gone. Tywone Malone, I'm sure, will be back. Jason Moore is a freshman, redshirt freshman, so he'll be back without a doubt. And then, obviously, Edric Houston's a freshman. He actually played quite a bit. Dominic Kirks, he'll be back, obviously. He's a freshman. Bryce Prato's a redshirt junior. Will Smith Jr., Josh Mickens, and Eric Menzel. So they're deep, mainly on the interior. But on the edges, they could use some added beef. Especially because you don't really want to throw freshmen out there early and, ruin them. You want them to develop. Now, what really has me thinking is on the edge in this class, they got 2 edge rushers, Zion Grady and Epi Satanali, who I think is the first legit speed rusher we've recruited since Chase Young. He's a legit speed rusher. I watched tape of this dude. Talk about a quick step. My dude gets off the line, boom, like that. Boom, boom, boom. It's a wicked spin move. It's like, I saw this kid hit a spin move, and it's like, he actually has a pass rush or some just push, 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 push. Like, he actually has pass rush moves. He'll come in here and Larry will get his hands on him and say, no, 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 you can't do spin move. You push, 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 push. As you could tell, that's kind of grinded my gears because watching Chase Young and Nick enjoyed Bosa especially, just go off, and then you have JT and Jack. Those two were pure power rushers. relying solely on their power and strength to overpower tackles. B seems like a guy that would just run right past you. Yeah, he's just gonna run right past you. He's a smaller dude too. It seems like smaller in stature. He's 6'5", 220, and he's like slender too. He'll be like a Myles Garrett, I think, if we develop him right. Funny part is, I think his middle initial is K. So technically, he is epic. Epic. Yeah. Yeah, of course, a few weeks ago we had Zahir Mathis, we had London Merritt. Those two dipped, of course. So we replaced those two with Epi. Cool. Epi and the portal for D-line. Yeah, they need it. So, moving on. Quarterback. I know. We're not going to get a quarterback, are we? Well, it all depends on what happens with the other quarterbacks in the portal. Because going into next year, you got Julian and, well, Tavian. You also got Devin, who's a redshirt sophomore, Lincoln, a redshirt freshman, and Aaron Nolan, who's a freshman. Are they really going to have 5 quarterbacks again? I'm sure Devin, Lincoln, and maybe even Aaron are gone. I mean, if Tavian is that dude, he might win the job next year. It'll be Tavian St. Clair versus Julian Sayin for the starting job next year, I think. It's possible. It is legit possible that could be the case. Not sure if it'll actually happen though. But I'm sure we'll hear a lot about it. Could we go after a quarterback? If we do, I think it'll be a depth guy. It'll be a developmental guy. Someone who can help out the youngsters, but I don't think we're going to be getting a quarterback who's trying to start. If we do though, because like I said, if Devin leaves, Lincoln and Air leave, and we only have 2 quarterbacks and they're both youngsters, and they go out in the portal and get a quarterback, if they're going to get one, get me like Caden Salter. Get me like one of the best in the portal. Right? I don't think that's going to be the case. Let's see if any of them leave. We'll know more once the portal really starts kicking up for the Buckeyes. This next one is a bit obvious. Kicker. Do I need to say anything else? After watching that game against the team up north, we need a kicker. Now, believe it or not, Bill Kurlick, who covers the Buckeyes for 247, said that Justice, was it Gomez or whatever, from Eastern Michigan, he's on the Buckeyes' radar. Like the Buckeyes are actually looking at him. I'm just gonna say, we need that. We need him. We need Jesus, man. We need Jesus. We need Jesus. Mm-hmm. That's funny. All right. So, yeah, kicker for sure. And then finally, defensive depth. Not just D line. Defensive depth everywhere. Simply because linebackers I've already talked about, right? They only have a few. Secondary, Denzel's going pro, I assume. Ransom, gone. Igbinosun, probably gone. Hancock, might leave. Those guys are probably going pro. So next year you're going to have Jermaine Matthews, Jaden Bonzu, or I guess it'd be Fahim Delane. Fahim can literally walk in the door and be the starting safety. I could realistically see Jaden Bonzu transferring out. I could see it. I could see Jaden Bonzu leaving. I could see Calvin Simpson Hunt leaving in the portal. I could see maybe Keenan Nelson transferring again. Jalen McClain, I don't think he's gone. No. They like him on special teams. Maybe they don't leave. Maybe we just have an absolutely loaded secondary next year. Need depth. Depth does not hurt, right? But they have Devin Sanchez coming in too. So realistically, next year, the Buckeyes could have a secondary that consists of Jermaine Matthews, Devin Sanchez, and maybe like Bryce West or Aaron Scott at corner, right? Safety will be Caleb Downs and Fahim Delane. That sounds like a lockdown secondary to me. Legit. That really does. Like, I'm not kidding. When just by watching Devin Sanchez's tape, this kid might be the Jeremiah Smith of not only this recruiting class, but the defense. The, the battles that will go down in practice between Devin and Jeremiah. Oh my God. We need to see that. We need to see that. Come spring practice, I need to see that. Be like King Kong versus Godzilla. Number one recruit from last year's class and the number one recruit from this year's class, pretty much. At it. Every day in practice. The battles will be pure cinema. Every day. And the best part is they're going to make each other better. They will make each other much, much better too. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for my transfer portal wish list, anyway. So I got to get rid of these now. Get rid of those. I'll be keeping track of how we do in that department. Now, the guys we've already talked to. Because there is one. It's guys we've already talked to. Because there is one. It's been confirmed. Of lineman Josh Thompson from Northwestern, who is in the portal. That's the first name that has officially come out as a guy that the Buckeyes have talked to. In fact, let me check the forum here. Because I like to be on the forums just to see if anything else has happened. Because with me blabbering on for now over at something could have happened. Someone else could have entered the portal. We could have breaking news. You never know. Although I'm sure if we did, someone would have been like, "Hey, yo, crazy dog, yeah, someone just committed or something." Nah. Oh yeah, so Perlick said Eastern Michigan kicker Jesus Gomez is on the Buckeyes radar. Let's get it. Of course, I almost forgot about Jarquez Carter too when I talked about the D line. So apparently, multiple reports have said that Jesus Gomez and Ohio State have mutual interest. Gomez was second team All MAC this year and drilled a 57-yarder against Washington. Yeah, we could use that. We could use that. All right, so yeah, more offensive linemen entering the portal. Gunnar Hansen from Vandy in the portal. He'll have 3 years. Oh no, he started 37 games for 3 years and for the Commodores. 1 year of eligibility. Okay. Tackle. We need that. Tackles. We need that. Eni White The Buckeyes were heavy on his recruitment. Didn't work out though. He didn't sign here. Tennessee linebacker Jalen Smith entering the portal. Nevada running back Sean Dollars entering the portal as a grad transfer. Dollars. Dollars making money. Patrick Kutas entering the portal for Arkansas. What is this? Deion Sanders Jr. Y'all are number one in the nation, and